Hello, Atlanta Film and TV. This is Mangisa Johnson, and today we're having a conversation with Joshua Leonard, creator of Team Supreme Cartoon, which is about superhero kids with medical differences. He has done character designs for Netflix, Nickelodeon, Drake, Bareback, and the list goes on. Hello, Joshua. How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. So we're just going to jump into a couple of questions. So you were our first interview we conducted virtually when the pandemic began this past March. Can you tell us what has changed in your career, and if you can, where you are with the development of Team Supreme since then?
Yeah, I appreciate you interviewing me last time. Um, I don't think I was working with Netflix during our first interview, so that's probably one of the biggest changes. Um, that my oldest, a day before I got hired at Netflix, and he's the one that taught me how to draw. So that's new. Um, and I'm working on another client's project as we speak with some character design work. So I'm an art director on this show as well, and that's pretty much it. Team Supreme is still being developed. We're working on getting it funded right now, so it's process. So I just want to make it clear that even though I work at Netflix and for them, Team Supreme has not been picked up by Netflix. Like that's not where it's gonna be yet. You know what I mean? So hopefully they realize what they have. You know, since I am working with them. In the meantime, I'm continuing to do the groundwork behind the scenes and along with my team. So shout out to Lena Wave, Jason Weaver, Hillman Grad, Rishi, and Zell and Alex. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Just kind of still trying to get the funding to make this show possible. So
Well, that's great. We're excited for you. So, in our
thank you.
initial interview, you talked about your inspiration behind Team Supreme Cartoon and what your desire is for it. Can you give us some insight into into who your characters are and their superpowers?
Yes, just some of them, but so my main character's name is Zeke, and he's right here behind me with the high top fade. And the reason I gave him a high top fade is to show how difficult it is for certain people who are on the autism spectrum to get haircuts. So I do want to show a episode where it is going to be difficult for him to get a haircut. So that's the reason why I gave him a high top fade. But Zeke's superpower is he's incredibly intelligent, has a photo memory, all of that stuff. Can slow down time, and that's the main thing. Like he'll be pretty reserved, pretty quiet. Um, we're still developing some of these characters and their superpowers. I have Thumper, who's over there in the corner, but he is actually deaf. So he'll have a cochlear implant, and his superpower is to like he can see sound, vibrations, like all his height, you know, just certain things like that. I have Lee, who is blind, so she can. I know her hearing is going to be pretty good as well. I think we're still kind of developing her. We were going to give Sweet Pea, who is Zeke's sister, we were going to give her what was it, sickle cell anemia, but we kind of changed our mind as it pertains to showing a how a relative or brother and sister or two brothers or two sisters dynamic, but one has a special need and one doesn't. Kind of teach people and kids, like, you know, it's okay to have a special, may not, but look how they treat each other. You know what I mean? Like she'll be there for Zeke and all that type of stuff. So I don't want to give it away because it is pretty dope. Um, I have Mech, who is for the, so he'll be in a, but he's really good with his hands. You know, he likes to build stuff. Um, and Mech is, we had that big giant robot. I think a lot of people forgot about that big mech suit that he'll roll into when the time comes. But that's pretty it. That's pretty much it as far as the main cast. But I have a character that what do you call it? Has to use an inhaler. I have an amputee character, dyslexic. So there's a bunch of other characters that I plan to introduce. But as far as like episodes go, not all the episodes just be completely all the Team Supreme cast. Like we may just specifically focus on spina bifida this day and show what that means and shows what that looks like. Maybe showing him his difficulties, trying to go downstairs, ramps, all of this stuff, along with, just adult, well written. And then I have Dr. Jackson, big dude in the back, so he's still overseeing these kids, and we were going to give him a superpower. We kind of want him that'll be the comedic part of Team Supreme, where he's controlled these kids who have superpowers, and he doesn't. So it's gonna be pretty funny what he's not able to do, what they're able to do, and him just being a real kind of like a nervous dad. You don't want anybody to get hurt or anything like that. But that's pretty much it right now. So we're still trying to get the cartoon developed and funded. So it's a matter of time.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
So you talked to us before about how your older brother taught you how to draw Garfield and how you were always drawing. Growing up, how did your parents cultivate your gift of drawing, and what piece of advice would you have for parents who have children with the same gift as yours?
Yeah, my brother taught me how to draw Garfield when I was in kindergarten. But I never stopped drawing. Anybody that's, as far as my parents, how they kind of nurture me towards that, they just let me. I was an athlete first as well, so they kind of knew I love to draw, but they also knew I was an athlete. So um, I didn't get in trouble for drawing in class, but I did, like, my teacher catch me drawing in class. So I wouldn't recommend going that route. They motivated me to continue to follow the arts. I did get art scholarships like that, along with football scholarships. But if somebody has a child that's also artistically able, I would definitely tell them to keep their kids if they're in. Not all of them are that patient enough to want to draw create, and then some don't feel like they're good enough. So I didn't think I was good enough back. I never stopped drawing. I love to do it. I'll never retire until I'm dead and gone from doing art. So it's one of those things you got to just keep continuing to grow. In the and I would recommend any artist to, if you're just trying to learn, is to learn anatomy. Like, start studying the muscles. It makes drawing the figure so much easier. Even if you're drawing a cartoon, at least you'll know where the chest, the muscle, the shoulder, all of that stuff, and how it drapes over other muscle parts. So yeah.
That's some good advice. Upon leaving the Atlanta Art Institute and embarking upon your professional career, were there any moments of fear or self-doubt you had to conquer, and what were some of the day-to-day obstacles you had to overcome as a Black man operating in a space viewed primarily as a white art form?
Yeah, I never had any fear or doubt about anything. I kind of had a chip on my shoulder the whole time, and it was a good chip, not anything negative, but it was like, you know what, I'm gonna do my best to be noticed. I'm gonna at least be able to compete with these top-notch artists, you know, at Disney and Pixar and Nickelodeon. I wanted to really push myself, and that's kind of how I'm still like that today. I just have a laser focus to. I'm at least gonna try. I'm gonna do my best work, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I'm not, you know, I'm not here to beg for a gig or anything like that. I'm here to let my artwork do the talking. But I think what helps is how I branded myself and kind of what I believe in as an artist. You know, diversity and inclusion. I think that's a big deal, and it helped me. But as far as just any fear of failing or anything like that, not at all. You know, if I fail, I'm at least I tried. You know, I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of. You know, they don't want to fail, but I failed plenty of times. I fell on the floor walking to this camera. No, I'm just kidding, but it's it's gonna happen, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So it's like you just gotta go for it. You know, don't waste talent. If you're good at it, at least try.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's pretty much why I like let film and TV go back in like 2017. We let it go. Like I was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
But now when I picked it back up, I was just like going full force. So now we have
yeah,
tons of
yep.
stuff. So what motivates
Awesome.
you thank you. What motivates you to draw, and do you find it to be a form of therapy?
Absolutely. What motivates me is, I got a daughter, she's 15, successful for her. I want her to see me be successful, or, I want her to see the failure sometimes. That way she can see how I take it and how I handle it. I really just want to be comfortable. You know, I've been home, so I know how fast from anybody. So, I go. So whenever I'm able to not work, that's my main goal. Um, and what was the other half?
You know what? I lost you for a second. So I asked what motivates you to draw, and do you find it to be a form of therapy?
Yes, yes. Sometimes I'll put a movie on in the background, music on for sure, but it is very therapeutic, and time flies when I'm drawing. Um, so that's what I was doing before I had this interview right here. Was doing some more character design, so it's fun. It's peaceful. It's peaceful for me.
Yeah, I find that with writing. The other day, I didn't realize, I looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 6. I've been working on stuff all day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Right.
find myself to oftentimes get lost in my work and becoming a part of it. So, yeah. So, how important are networking and building relationships in the Atlanta film and TV industry, and how has it helped you?
It's very important. I think it's important wherever you are. I don't think people realize how crucial networking is. Like I said, even if nobody knew that I drew or that I was an okay artist, I think they would still um, like what I believe in, as it pertains to diversity and inclusion. I think they would still want to get to know me based on that, whether it be businesses, just people in general. And that's why I love LinkedIn so much, But Atlanta it's a ton of networking that can be done out here. You know, whether you get on or not, that's kind of the next problem. So you definitely have to network, but you still can build these relationships. I built relationships out here that have gotten me gigs in LA. So um, but yeah, I mean, it's good to network. It's very important. It's crucial to everybody, I believe. Um, and you just build these relationships. You never know what could happen out of them. You never know what could come from them. Big deal.
Yeah, no, I agree. Have you used any other resources for networking and building relationships besides LinkedIn?
Um, well, I mean, Instagram is always like social media is a big deal as well. Um, and I use social media as a business personally. Like the stuff I post is like positive stuff. Just stuff that will make a regular person like get to see more about it. Not just I don't just post crazy stuff, ridiculous stuff. My stuff will make sense. I'm promoting somebody. Um, things that I believe in, like inclusion and diversity, stuff that I really push. But Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Um, Matter of fact, Twitter is how I got the Netflix gig. Somebody found me off, saw the artwork on Twitter and
Wow.
sent me a DM. Yeah, one of the people at Netflix. So I mean, you got to put your stuff out there. That's but everybody's different. So everybody's different. So I'm all for it. I have no problem sharing my artwork. Some people don't like to do that because of copyright stuff. I get it. I think my artwork kind of stands out enough for people kind of know it's me, or they starting to learn and see that I have a certain style, especially how I light the face or light the image. Um, so I'm for me it worked, and it like I said, it is going to be different. It'll vary from person to person, but I'm grateful that it worked for me.
Yeah, I'm finding, I used it when I could before the pandemic, but recently, well, probably about a year ago, I really started to use it. Like I didn't know how to use Instagram. I was just on there. Like I
Hmm.
think I shared with you that Gia sent me your Kickstarter campaign and she asked me to share it and I said, "Sure." I didn't share it because I didn't know how to, but now I know how to share stuff and I learned how to like share and use hashtags and all that good stuff. So you're
Yeah,
so right that those are good resources. And I don't know where we would be if this happened 10 years ago. Um, and
yeah, it's
the
crazy. Crazy. And me and my father talk about that because social media is different. Like you can really do whatever you want now. It's more competition because everybody when I play sports, you had to get a scholarship. Like you had to like they didn't have like right now school kids have social media to show their highlight tapes and all this other stuff, website. Like we didn't have that when I played. So if you weren't in that newspaper, then you weren't really getting noticed. So like it changed a lot, and I think people need to take advantage of it, especially when it comes to like business. I would do is I would follow recruiters at Netflix, Disney, Nickelodeon, any studio. If you're a recruiter or if you had any power to hire people or to get the word across, I would follow those people. Um, some of them I would hit up, and I came across some amazing relationships, real close friends now. So um, like I got a friend of mine named Mosley the second. I met him a long time ago, and he just believed in Team Supreme. And at the time that I met him, he was at Nickelodeon. I talked to this brother for about 2 hours one night down the process making an animated cartoon for free. I mean, every detail, first step we do the second, boom, and it was like 30 steps. And that was just for one episode. But the fact that he took the time to help me was amazing to me. And that's my dude to this day. Like he had some word of mouth and get me in Netflix as well. So I mean it just that's how it is, and you just gotta build those relationships. So shout out
yeah,
to James Mosley the second. He's at Hello Sunshine right now in So I'm really proud of that brother. So he's a coordinator, animation coordinator. So well done.
Wow, that's amazing. So, this question kind of flows into the last one. So,
Hmm.
COVID has brought about a paradigm shift over the past year, and technology is being used in the entertainment industry in ways we hadn't imagined before. Due to how content is being created, in your opinion, how is this advantageous for Black creatives?
Yeah, it's definitely. I think it's a lot better. You know, this is like right now is the time to go and get it, man. If you're a content creator, like I don't want bad stuff to happen to anybody. So when COVID took off, um, it was bad. You know, all these deaths and stuff like that. It was terrible. And a coworker of mine just lost his 32-year-old cousin to COVID.
Oh,
So it's a real crucial. Um, you know, it's terrible, but it's everything happens for a reason. One thing I thought this COVID should bring either people together, families together, you know, and some have even been pushed apart, unfortunately, which is terrible. But as far as like Black creators and stuff like this is I'm home all the time anyway. I'm usually working. So for COVID to hit and everybody, you know, oh, we got to stay home. I was in my, this is how I work anyway. Like I'm in the house, I'm focused. I got stuff I need to do, I need to get done. But if you're not used to that, you got to just take advantage of what you're given, which is time, you know, especially since everybody is inside. Like, I think that's even how, what is that, Versus? I think that's how that came about. We were kind of inside and Timberland and Swiss Beats, you know, they was battling with beats and stuff. So, I mean, stuff like that, just anything, any content that you can put out during this time um, is major, and especially with animation booming like it is right now, and it's going to get even more popular because everything is streaming right now. So, like right now, it's crazy. If you do music, definitely try to get a plug on an animated cartoon or something like this. Is going to be pretty major. So you just got to go and get it and take what's given.
yeah, you're right about the music. Miles mysteriously became a rapper last year.
Mm,
He's pretty
okay.
good at it. Yeah. So
Nice.
he has a nice following as well. So
Okay. Nice. Nice. Nice.
if I could travel back in time and interview 18-year-old Joshua and tell him all the things he would become, what would you least likely believe to be true?
Least likely. That's a good question because I'm very confident. So, um, wow, maybe not that I was working at Netflix, but how, you know, like my brother passing and then Netflix calling, something like that. I knew I would, you know, I've always knew I would do big things. I never wanted to be famous. I did want to be a professional athlete, but I didn't want to be famous. I still don't want to be famous. I want them to know Team Supreme and the Black creator that created. That's about it. That's where my legacy stopped right there. And what I've done to for the animation community as it pertains to diversity and inclusion. But the only thing that would really surprise me is like the Netflix thing and how it happened, like a day after my brother passes. So other than that, you know, I work hard for this. So this is all supposed to happen how it is. I knew I was either going to be in the league playing professional ball or doing this or both. So I kind of saw myself like a Kobe. You know, after he did that, he went to the animation. That's pretty much what I wanted to do. You know, play ball, play sports, and while I raised, you know, while I earned the money in professional sports, I wanted to create an animation studio. Now it's just I have to do it a different type of way without those millions of dollars from professional sports, you know. So it's a little harder, it's a little slower, but I'm grateful for the the story, especially being homeless. That's probably one of the main things I'm really thankful for, that I personally went through that, and it was a terrible time, but it really makes you appreciate little things like big time. So I think a lot of people take stuff for granted, way too
Yeah.
much.
So, can you speak on the curriculum you're creating for schools and how can schools get involved?
Well, yeah, I'm still working on that, but we put a pause on it just because it is, and I'm very busy right now. But basically, I want Team Supreme to be used in all schools. It can be in companies as well. I don't care if it's now that I think about it, it could be worldwide. Any company. I just want to use Team Supreme as a tool to show what diversity, what English like. Um, but as far as schools go, I want Team Supreme to be in there to just teach kids, and it'll look cool to it. They'll like it. They'll like the artwork. That so it'll make them want to learn more about certain issues and things like that. All while still showing them that it's okay to be different. That's the main goal for Team Supreme. We want to normalize, having a disability, having a medical difference. I probably have some form of a disability that I never even knew about, but because I'm definitely not perfect, all of that. So when we try to, society makes it seem like this is not normal. Well, what is normal? So Team Supreme is that that key, as all of this stuff.
Yeah, that I would like to know when you release that because I would love to get it in my kids' schools. Um,
Absolutely.
where do you see yourself in Team Supreme cartoon in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, let's see, probably a Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and people may ask why Grammy? Because I want the music to be dope too. I want this thing to be just special all the way around, and that's how I am as a person. Like I'm gonna go all the way in on making this thing a something that's never been done before. So um, I want my studio, Leonard Studios, jumping off by then. Um, maybe a season with I'm fine with all of those, and but definitely see Team Supreme winning an Oscar, an Emmy. That's the
I think we lost you for a second.
okay. Yeah, it freezes up a little. Do I need to answer it again?
If you don't mind.
Okay. Basically 5 years from now, I see Team Supreme winning a Emmy, Grammy. Like I'm saying, people may have music to also be dope. Um, I want Leonard Studios to actually be open with a like a brick and mortar type building. Um, I just see Team Supreme making to worldwide, and then just have everybody be able to relate to it. I just want to create a dope cartoon that tells a story and normalizes all types of people, all while being able to live without struggling to pay bills and stuff like that.
Well, That is all the questions that I have. I would like to thank you for allowing me, well, us, to interview you again. And, it was great to
Thank
catch
you.
up with you and find out where you were with the development of your cartoon.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.